Hello and welcome. This is Rich Gurman. I'm the founder of the JV Insider Circle, and I welcome you to another edition of JVIC Success Stories. And I'm really excited to be talking with the wonderful Jennifer Dunham today. I'm excited because, Jennifer, I've known you for, my gosh, how many years? I feel like you've been in the community almost since the beginning.
Yep, it's at least 4, at
So,
least.
so we started JVIC in 2013. So you've been in, not since the very beginning, but
Yep.
probably within
I probably 2015, 16, somewhere in there, because I was on JVX was 2016. So yeah.
I feel like it was even before that. So either way,
Yep.
it's always awesome to talk to you. And I always love talking to our members that are doing exciting and interesting things. And I'm excited for you to share with our community here. So first of all, because not everyone knows who you are, just give us a little background on you specifically. Tell me about your business model and who your target market is, please.
Sure, absolutely. Well, my business model is based on what I call a profit pyramid approach. I believe in giving value, offering free gifts, free training, and then moving into even low and mid and high ticket. So I'm not one of those believers in only selling high ticket because I feel like that isn't necessarily always congruent with what people are comfortable selling. So my business model is based on what I am comfortable doing, which is based on a profit pyramid approach. And it's based on my journey through the last several years, creating one freebie, then another offer, and then the next. So it's all developed now into my complete full signature system, which is essentially to create the right client attraction system, the right content conversion system, and a consistent cash injection plan.
Beautiful. And your target market is who?
My target market is online entrepreneurs who have typically broke through that 5-figure month or maybe even that 6-figure year, but they just quite can't get off that roller coaster ride of inconsistency.
What? You're telling me there's people in our industry that have challenges? They have, I call it cash spurts versus cash flow.
That's exactly right. I call that the cash flow roller coaster.
Yeah, I get that one. I love it. So I don't love being on that roller coaster.
Right. None of us do.
Fortunately, I haven't been on that for a long time, but I know that a lot of the people that we serve are. So I just want to stop for a moment. I love what you said, that you created something that you're comfortable with.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I see all the time is people go to a seminar, they listen to a training, a webinar, whatever, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'm going to do that because Joe Blow said I should. But it's completely out of alignment with what's going on inside of them. And what I've seen is they could follow those steps, to the letter, but if it's out of alignment with what they're feeling inside, it's not going to work. So
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You have to feel comfortable selling it, or the energy that you put out there with it is going to not convert into a sale.
Oh yeah, I've had some of the greatest offers ever, but I didn't feel comfortable presenting it, and nobody bought. I couldn't figure out why.
Yep, that's exactly why.
I want to talk about JVs with you. Obviously, that's our main focus and how you build your business with joint ventures. But speak a little bit more to that, if you will, around being comfortable with what you're going to sell and just how you teach that.
Yeah, sure. So, one of the things that I say, I kind of have this 3C approach, which first of all, commitment comes first. Like you just have to commit to doing it. Once you commit, I think people then gain clarity as they're doing. I'm a big imperfect action person. I'd rather just put something out there, see how it rolls, and then confidence comes. And I think what happens is people lack the confidence to even try sometimes, and so that they get stuck in that procrastination mode. And of course, with my IT background, I'm a big planner as it is, so I like to take the time. It is essential to take the time to do a little bit of planning, because even just this much of planning is going to give you so much more path forward and create that momentum. of action. So, you know, my two big mantras is consistency and leverage. So even if it's a freebie, even if it's a lead magnet, it's consistency of getting it out there.
Yes.
So as we're talking about joint ventures, you know, getting it out there and sharing two people's different lead magnets, so long as there's alignment with who the audiences are, is a great way to support people in the early stages of building a list.
So let's go to the leverage in a moment, because to me, joint ventures is all about leverage, but that's why I got the 3 C's. So it's commitment, clarity, and confidence.
Yep, confidence comes last. Like the commitment has to be there, and you kind of, you know, you might feel like you're swimming in muddy waters as far as the clarity piece, and that is definitely something that I have transversed myself through the last several years, is figuring out what is the right messaging, and I've become, it's almost a soapbox topic these days of how my personal values, my personal passions, my personal stories are all blended into me attracting the right people that I want to work with.
It's interesting you talk about commitment and passion. I was at an event earlier this year, and Alex Mondosian was there, and he said that commitment is what creates passion. Because you know me, I'm a passion guy. My second book I wrote many years ago now was called Monetize Your Passion. It was all about, you know, find out your passion, and that will, you know, then put it out there. But it was interesting to hear him kind of put a spin on it. Like when you're committed, then you're going to be passionate. And the other thing I love that you said was around, even if it's not perfect, put it out there. Because to me, you know, we're dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and our landing pages got to be perfect and all this stuff. And in my mind, it's like, that's just creative avoidance.
It is. Yeah. It's when, you know, one of the things I like to say is that without getting out there, you can't make money. It's very simple to make money. You have to have your expertise, your passions, what you can create and craft as an offer, and you just have to offer it to someone. It's as simple as that.
Well, I look at it this way. If you don't put your offer out there compared to putting an offer out there and no one buys it, it's the same result. So like
it is. And that's why, you know, I share failure is awesome. Like it's a big chant every morning. Failure is awesome, because if you're failing, that means you're doing, and you're also learning in the process.
100%. I love it. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about joint ventures. You mentioned the word leverage. To me, the magic of joint ventures is you're leveraging other people's work, other people's audiences. So there's specific questions I could ask you, but I'll just start with a general one. How have you used JVs, joint ventures, to build your following and to build your client base?
Sure. Well, as you know, Rich, one of the big things that I have done at least every year is we host a big online giveaway, which is just a collaboration of contributors with their lead magnets in order for everyone to gain some advantage of growing a list. And I think my co-founder and I that have created this particular giveaway have created it as a charity fundraiser model. And it's something that I do every year. And I think when it comes to building your list, leveraging, again, other people's lead magnets, being able to combine forces with someone who is complementary, not necessarily competing, but complementary, allows you to then like trade. One of the things that I did very early on as well, kind of beyond just a list building with a giveaway collaboration, was I also hosted a summit, which I know you were part of, like that was eons ago. Yeah. And that had to be 2016, it had to be at least. And one of the things that I was a big proponent of when I was first starting was, if I have some small offer, you know, you might even think of it now, it might be like one module. If you were to think of a course, it might be one module. But if it's complementary to someone else's program or launch, it can easily be a bonus into that other person's launch. So you're supporting them with giving them a little bit more meat to their offer, but then they're supporting you by exposing you to their tribe, their community. So it's a really easy way to start collaborating, especially early on when you don't have a huge community.
So let's talk a little bit more about the giveaway for 2 reasons.
Yeah.
One's a little selfish, minorly selfish, and you know why.
Yes, it is. It's selfish, but that's good. It's in a good way.
It's selfish. I'll explain why Jennifer's smiling. So For our members of JV Insider Circle, they all know what a giveaway is, and part of what we offer is training people how to do a giveaway. I love giveaways, and I'll share why in a second, but just from your standpoint, what are the top 2 or 3 reasons that you lead this giveaway and also participate in others?
The reason that I lead this one is it is, of course, as the host, you are in the position of gaining credibility of the other contributors that are coming in, which is also a reason to joint venture with people. Is it's like you're kind of like brushing up against them a little bit and getting a little bit of credibility, which is always good, as well as being able to have the biggest, as the host, you get the biggest bang for your buck when it comes for the list building effort, of course. Now, when you do a giveaway, don't think that it's not a lot of work, because it is. We actually start ours back in, I think it was at least June when we started prepping with ours. And when you start to pull in the right contributors, and if you can start what we call getting some of those influencers, like I would consider Rich an influencer to our giveaway, we really view it as there's almost 2 different audiences. And this is something that Iman came back to, or that he spoke on a bit ago, which is following through, right? So, we have the people that sign up, like everybody that signs up to get the gifts, but our contributors, we really treat them as like we're serving them. Like we want to make sure their links are working. We want to make sure that sometimes we've reached out to people where the messaging or the copy just wasn't, what we would have considered like, hey, we might be able to help you out and spruce this up a bit. So we really use our giveaway to strengthen those JV relationships. So it's not only is it list building, but it's really solidifying relationships. Now I can reach out to any one of those people and ask them and have a relationship to see if they could promote something else that I'm doing.
So you just hit to me on 4 really critical points I want to summarize real quick. So as far as the main benefit for you leading the giveaway, or someone watching right now saying, oh my God, I can do that, I want to lead a giveaway, it's the first 2 things you said. It's credibility, because all of a sudden you're rubbing elbows with other people that might even be at a higher level than you. And this the magic of a giveaway. If you come up with a great idea for a giveaway, you don't need to be like, you could kind of be a relative unknown. And it's not hard to get much bigger name people that want to be a part of it, because you're going to give them a lot of exposure. So just by leading it, you are establishing credibility, like Jennifer said. And then to me, the biggest advantage is the list building, which you touched on. And then the other 2 things you talked about that I made note of, I think are really what makes you a great JV partner. One being that you make it easy for your partners to promote you. That is a key. Just we've all heard the term that a confused buyer doesn't buy. Well, I always say that a confused JV partner doesn't email for you. They don't promote you. So the easier you can make it for a partner, literally just like, hey, here's the email copy, tweak it a little bit so it sounds like it came from you, and hit send, and I will handle everything else.
Absolutely.
As a JV partner, and I don't want to call myself lazy, but there's other things I'd rather be doing in the world than sitting here at my computer, typing swipe copy or whatever. The easier you make it, the better. And then the last thing you said, Jennifer, which I think is the most important, is by leading the giveaway, you're creating relationships with people. And if they have a good experience in your giveaway, then you can go back to them for the next thing that you're promoting, and they're going to come to you. And it's just this snowball effect of relationship building. So real quick, I want to touch on the second reason that I love your giveaway. And this was the good selfish part. and it's important actually. So with Jennifer's giveaway, she has a charity component, and they raise money and they give away to something that she believes in. And for me, it's been great because the last 2 years, some of you might know that I have a passion for the ocean, and I have a nonprofit called Project O. And Project O has been the benefactor of the last couple giveaways. And because Jennifer's done such a great job, we've raised a really nice amount of money that we've used to further our efforts of protecting the ocean. So I just want to thank you for that. And the point is that tying in a charity, some kind of contribution, is not only just a good thing to do from a social moral standpoint, but it also, people like that. It's kind of where the world's at today. So people will I think it's an easier sell, if you will, to potential JV partners and just the audience that you want to attract if they see that. So it's smart. So
Absolutely.
Jennifer, you and I could spend hours talking.
Yep.
I love that, but these interviews are pretty short. So I'm going to give you the final word.
Okay.
What would you say to, I mean, I've been doing this like you for a long time. And as I listen to you, it's like, everybody should be doing this stuff. Everybody should be jumping in the pool of joint ventures and doing giveaways and summits and promoting, other people and having them promote them. Like, we know this stuff works, yet a lot of people, to the point you made at the beginning, they're afraid, I think, is really what it boils down to. So they avoid. So what advice can you give someone who might feel some fear? They don't know if they've got what it takes, or, whatever that excuse might be in their head.
Well, just remember the whole piece about commitment comes first, because then the confidence will come. So, one of the things that, even if you aren't ready yourself to be, like have your offer, have what you're creating to be shared by others, you can still start creating those relationships now where you're a joint venture and supporting someone else. So, ideally, you want to try and build a relationship, and it can be a two-way street. But if you're just starting out, it's okay to share their offer and support them. So, really, it's just a matter of doing it. Now, the other last little thing I was going to bring up too, Rich, because this is something I struggled with when I really started trying to do more joint venture stuff, is the higher level with joint venture partners that you start to create relationships with, is to keep in mind that their calendars get booked quite quickly, which means you can't ask someone to come on your giveaway or come on a telesummit or to joint venture with you for something that's like next month. It's really not. I mean, you might get a hole in their calendar and it might work, but for the most part, if you can start to think about 3 months out, 6 months out, the further out that you can plan, the better off that you'll get a yes.
100%, but for the bigger partners specifically.
Yeah.
So we're going to wind this down. I just want to share a final thought on the word commitment. And I just feel like, for anyone watching now, you most likely are a coach, a consultant, a speaker, an author. You're an expert of some kind, or you wouldn't have been attracted to us. And I don't think you would be here unless you had a message that you feel the world needs. And the magic of joint ventures is it's a great vehicle to get your message out there. And I just hope that your commitment to getting your message out there is stronger than any fear or anything that might hold you back. Because the reality is, working with us specifically at JV Insider Circle, like, we're going to train you everything you need to know how to do to get your message out there. And then the magic of what we do is we have this amazing community of people like Jennifer who are happy to spread your message. That's what the community is all about, is helping each other get our messages out there so that we can make the impact that we're all here to make. And this is why Jennifer's been with us for so many years, and she's stuck with us until she retires, as far as I'm concerned. So Jennifer, I appreciate you being here. And to everybody watching, like I'm saying, JVIC, we are the #1 community of JV partners who support each other to get our messages out there into the world, to get more clients, and like I said, to make the biggest impact possible in the world. So please check us out at joinjvic.com for more information. We'd love for you to join our community. Jennifer, always good to see your pretty smile, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rich.
You got it. Bye-bye.